A lot of people are being victimized around the cyberspace, and that is where we also come in as a ministry to also train in relation to cybersecurity. We also need to look at e-government services. We have made significant progress in digitalizing government services, making them more accessible and efficient to our citizens. You know very well we have got the e-procurement system, which was launched by PRAS. We also have got the integrated case management system under the Ministry of Justice. And we are saying these are some of the applications that we really have to be at the forefront of also making sure that they are fully implemented. And I really need to applaud you for that. We also need to look at I know you've come up with an e-recruitment system under the Public Service Commission. And all we need to do is to make sure that all government ministries are able to embrace. What is it that we need to do instead in terms of our lead cadastral system? What does the Ministry of Local Government need to do in terms of digitizing their operations? What is it that the Ministry of Lands also has to do around that? These are strategies that we need to come up with as part of our strategic plan. Let us think outside the box. What is it that we are lacking? Where are the gaps within all government ministries? And we are happy that we have come up with an enterprise architectural modeling under the e-government unit. And I'm happy that the PS is working together with the e-government unit in fully implementing this. We also have got GISP. I know they're on their way coming. A lot of times we've been attacked to say, why is it we have not fully digitalized our emails? Yes, we've got 10 ministries, we've managed to do that. Let's celebrate that 10 government ministries have actually been able to have .gov domain emails. But it's not enough. We want each and every ministry to be having a .gov domain. This will also increase on our digital sovereignty as a country. We need to be able to come up in terms of even the digital infrastructure. What is it that we have done? Let us see ourselves work and move towards us equipping our national data center. These are some of the strategies that we need to be very clear to say, how do we enhance our digital sovereignty? Yes, we have got our Cyber and Data Protection Act, but what interventions do we need to do to make sure that the infrastructure is sound? We want to applaud the likes of Till1, which also have got quite a robust data center. But we're saying, as much as they have it, we also believe that there is more capacity for us to be having more data centers in the country. We also have done initiatives around support for innovation, where we foster a culture of innovation, which also sees us coming up with startups and initiatives which are aimed at solving local challenges through technology. Just last week, our Honorable Deputy Minister presided over the Innovation Drive in Masvingo, where young innovators shared prize money amounting to $145,000 US. 50,000 was reserved for the first prize winner alone. Let's clap hands for that. This shows that we really need to support innovation. This is a must, and we need to be able to see interventions around how we can best initiate this. Harry S. Truman said, you can always amend a big plan, but you can never expand a little one. Hello? Does it make sense? So it means it's better we think as big as we can. Let us aim at the clouds and drop at the trees. Does it make sense? Not for us to think that we can expand on a small idea and say, we are just planning to train all the digital skills for just 20 people. How then do you progress? If you have done 20, you're okay, you're satisfied. So within our plan, let us find out initiatives that we can to make sure that, yes, let's aim up there. Let's do the best that we can. So that at least, even if you don't achieve that, we know very well that we are around there. And whenever a target is big, you put more effort because you know where you want to go. As we move forward, let us come up with strategies that accelerate the attainment of Vision 2030 before the year 2030. Our strategies must feed into the vision for President, His Excellency Dr. Ict Postal, whose vision is to have an upper middle income economy society founded on a digital economy. While we celebrate our accomplishments, we must also confront the challenges that lie ahead. The digital divide remains a pressing issue. Despite our progress, many citizens still lack access to reliable internet services and digital tools. This then brings about the issue of digital devices. How do we enhance our smart phone penetration rate if we are not going to also make sure that we invest greatly on device procurement? You might say, when we were having our briefing, she mentioned about the issue of taxes. What interventions are we going to do? Because we are there to decide on policy. What interventions are we going to do in terms of the high taxes that the sector is facing? This shows that we won't be able, for us, even us as Minister of ICT, we are not being very much proactive enough. We need to devise mechanisms. We also need to come up with policies. We should also see us be able to come up with the interventions around the taxes. This is how we come in and this is where we come in as the Minister of ICT. Technology evolves. So do the threats associated with it. So cybersecurity risks are also on the rise. And we must prioritize building robust cybersecurity frameworks to protect our citizens and businesses from potential threats. I know the Cybersecurity Department is also working on concluding on our National Security Operations Center. And also just basic cybersecurity training is also very critical. And I saw them recently, I think it was a month ago. We also trained 105 government people in terms of cybersecurity training. It is quite important that we look at these interventions. Yes, that training is also going to go to our judges. It's also going to go to our ministers, deputy ministers, so that everyone gets an appreciation of the utilization of ICTs, and at the same time, how they can best be able to protect themselves around the cyberspace. His Excellency, our President, Dr. Idi Mnangagwa, said, and I quote, "I also wish to point out that the overriding principle of the cabinet system is collective responsibility, which ties in all with the whole of government approach, whole of society approach. And our endeavor is to leave no one and no place behind," unquote. We have got a whole of government approach. We have got a whole of society approach. We have got an initiative whereby we need to make sure that we leave no one and no place behind. So in everything that we're going to do and plan, let us be cognizant of what the aspirations of our president. Let us be cognizant of where he wants us to go. Let us also remember that our mandate as a ministry is to come up with ICT and postal and courier solutions that cater for every ministry, department, and government agency. The whole of government approach and the whole of society approach that our president has really spoken about is just, must be at the bedrock of our planning here in Kaduna. As we engage in discussions over the next few days, I urge each of you to think critically on how we can address these challenges, while also capitalizing on our opportunities. Our reviewed strategic plan must be ambitious, but also very realistic. We also need to settle on clear goals and also align our vision for a digitally empowered Zimbabwe. We must also prioritize inclusive digital transformation and also make sure that we also come up with a strategic plan that we can really speak into. A strategic plan that each and every one of us will be able to understand and appreciate. That everyone would know very well that this is what we need to do and these are the expectations of where we need to go. Digital transformation is founded on policy and tangible deployment of connectivity. To this end, we must conclude all pending policies and legislative matters such as the artificial intelligence policy. I saw the Honorable PS tell me about a month ago that we're working on an IoT policy, and I said, wow. Do you know why I said wow? I said, okay, fine. At least we know where we want to go. The postal and courier services policy, the child online safety policy, the e-waste policy, ICT startup policy, the e-commerce and electronic transactions bill, as well as the amendments to the Postal and Telecommunications Act. There is need for us to also develop policies that deal with our disruptive technologies, such as the blockchain, also the machine learning, and also IoT. The formulation of policies and laws is meaningless if we cannot translate it to improved connectivity for the general populace. Collaboration between the government and private sector is very crucial in also improving connectivity driving, and also innovation. Let us expand access to ICT services by working together. Let us also create an ecosystem that nurtures creativity and entrepreneurship. We also need to look at innovations around us improving connectivity. We want to thank the leadership of His Excellency, our President, where he saw us launch Starlink in Zimbabwe. But at the same time, the launching of Starlink also has opportunities also coming through, also for our telco players. And it is quite important that with the Zimbabwe is open for business mantra, we also need to come up with strategies to lure device manufacturers into Zimbabwe. We have got Zitco, a company which produces devices locally, which really needs full capacitation. And I'm glad that already there is a program around that. Let us see initiatives that we can do so that we have more devices being produced locally. So we also believe that whatever innovations that we have, we also need to make sure that they are also produced locally, and also we are also going to capacitate people that are going to produce those locally. Let us also come up with applications locally for cyber security. Why can't we have a Zimbabwean being able to come up with an application around cyber security? Let us look and invest in what we can do as a country around us promoting our locals, around us promoting initiatives which are also produced locally. One of the cornerstones of our effectiveness is our human resources. It is not a secret that our current structure as a ministry is not the best, and in some way hinders our effective fulfillment of our mandates. It is quite important that we need to be able to come up with a reviewed structure and come up with effective proposals that can also be able to reform our ways that we can do. And we're happy that the Public Service Commission is also represented here with our trainers. It's important that we get to be able to make them appreciate and understand where we are lacking as a ministry and be able to push towards this. And also we mentioned, of course, in our briefing, the issues of finance. Let us see what is really needed, whereby we really need to be able to appreciate and be able to also have some way that we can communicate with the Minister of Finance. We also need to make sure that, yes, our desk officer is also here represented, and we also want to appreciate all people that have come from the Minister of Finance are here. There is one representing operational and one who is also representing CAPEX. As a ministry, we have lagged behind in terms of CAPEX, I think in the past, in this past year. And it is important that now going forward, we hope that the Minister of Finance will be very, very lenient with us and be able to also be very lenient with us when it comes to resources. This is one way which will also make us to be very strategic and also be able to embrace and be able to implement all our initiatives. Lastly, establishing clear performance metrics will also allow us to track our progress effectively. The 2025 performance contracts will serve as a tool for accountability, ensuring us that we remain focused on achieving our strategic objectives. This must all be preceded by an extensive review of all the programs that we have rolled out in the past, including but not limited to the lab-based school project and the community information centers, which as Zimpost highlighted to us that they're going to rename them to be digital centers. And also we're happy that within the briefing as well, Zimpost alluded that they're also going to make sure they push on us being able to achieve a smart post office. I would be remiss if I did not speak about the need to rethink our communication strategy as a ministry. Implementing programs without publicizing or communicating them is akin to waving at someone in the dark. We need to effectively communicate with the masses and promote necessary awareness of all our programs and initiatives to ensure that the beneficiaries of our initiatives are aware of where we are going. Great collaboration with private players is also needed. In conclusion, I want to emphasize that this workshop is not just an exercise in planning, but it is an opportunity for us to shape the future of ICT in Zimbabwe. Each one of us brings unique insights and expertise that will contribute to our collective success. Let us engage openly, share ideas freely, and collaborate effectively over the coming days. Together we can build a future where technology serves as a catalyst for development, innovation, and empowerment in all sectors of our society. Thank you for all your commitment and all the hard work that you've done. Well done and keep it up. Let us make this workshop a resounding success. Now, with great pleasure, I declare the Ministry of ICT, Postal and Courier Services Strategic Plan Review Workshop officially opened. May all your deliberations be fruitful and be fruitful and transformative. I thank you.